Promise started when I was 39 years old, and I had already had two pretty significant careers, neither of which I was passionate about. I didn't really realize just because you're good at something, it doesn't mean it's good for you, and it doesn't mean you're passionate about it. A piece of advice my dad gave me early on that I never really took until later in life was, find out what you love and then find out how to make money at it. It wasn't until I met Jen. We would come up here all the time, for weekends. She'll tell you, but you'd say, God, you're like a different person when you're here.
Steve softened when he was in Napa Valley. He just always belonged here.
On our wedding day, I asked Steve to promise himself and me that we would find a way to make Napa Valley wine be a part of our lives.
That we would always pursue this life together. And I asked for a promise for that.
And we really didn't know that 21 years later we would have our own winery and be doing this to this extent. But my journey with wine actually began in France. I was really fortunate when I was 11 years old. My entire family moved just outside of Paris. My parents really just threw the whole family in to everything about it. The art, the history, the food, the culture. There was just so many wonderful things that they kind of introduced us to. And my mom and dad both loved the wine culture. It was on the table at every dinner. And even as a young child, I could notice how it was a part of the meal. It was a part of getting together. It was a part of sharing. And I loved it.
So when we started Promise, we were great wine enthusiasts, but we weren't winemakers. We didn't know how to produce wine. So of course we were going to look for the very best people and the best tools to help us along the way.
Wine is very much a translation of the person who makes it. The vision for the brand really is rooted in the ownership. That's what really gives its belonging. That's what gives its authenticity. You learn a lot about winemakers, winery owners, brand owners, vintners through the wines that they make. The wonderful thing about Steve and Jennifer is they came to the wine program with a lot of earlier knowledge. What's a benefit to the Promise brand is their history. Maybe they weren't making wine for generations, but they sure came to the table with a broad understanding of the world of wine.
We kind of consider ourselves assistant winemakers. Kirk is an amazing winemaker and teacher and friend. And we like to be involved in every part of the process and continue to learn. We're 21 years in, but every year we're constantly learning and trying to make a better and better wine. The majority of great winemaking is done in the vineyard.
So when we began to develop vineyard sites here on Pritchard Hill, we knew immediately we needed a designated viticulturist to help us develop the land.
That's when we hired Brittany Peterson, who's been an amazing partner for us and is our viticulturist and is overseeing the development of both Pritchard Hill and any other vineyard that we're dealing with.
I mean, these guys work so hard, it's amazing, but it's fun to be involved a little bit in every aspect of what we do. That way you get an appreciation for how hard these guys work and how much goes into a bottle of wine.
Getting up early is...
Jen's a big morning person.
I'm not a morning person, but when I do and I get up here and I catch the harvest, you're never disappointed that you lost a couple hours of sleep.
What are you guys picking today?
Oh, this is Cab. It's gonna probably go into our Bordeaux blend.
These are good. Cabernet, baby. Breakfast of champions.
Jen and Steve are so involved in the brand. This is their baby. They started Promise 21 years ago, and it's their love story, and the wines are named after family affirmations. What's special about Promise wines is they taste like they have soul. you can almost feel the passion that's behind them. And that goes from all of our, activities on the property. We have a working farm, so people get to see beehives and animals and a garden that's functioning. When people meet Steve and Jen, they're often taken aback at how down to earth they are. Steve's wearing a black t-shirt and work boots most days because he's doing activities on the farm. Jen will be in the garden picking strawberries and bring a basket down to share with guests. So I think that level of personal involvement and just day-to-day farm activity is really surprising to people. And then the wines are just absolutely world-class. They're some of the best in the valley, and people, I think, can tell how much care and craft we put into the wines we make.
I think I was always interested in people and what moved them, what brought them to life, what gave them the sparkle in their eye. The thing I love the most about the wine business is how it allows you to meet people on their journey and hear about their lives and like deepen relationships.
I never really honestly thought that experience in France would lead to me making wine in the United States and having this be really my life's work. But that's a wonderful testament to how special, wine has become in my life.
I think wine is another great device for storytelling.
I think our soul and our story and our journey is reflected in each and every bottle of wine that somebody opens.
My dad passed away last year, but lived an amazing life, and he always wanted his son and daughters to pursue things that they were passionate about. And it wasn't really until I met Jen and found Promise that I really understood what he was talking about.